If I ever do that, I'm going to learn poisoning if, because no ways. Welcome to another episode of What in the South is going on here. It's been another week. Personally, I am shook. I am shook because what's going on in this country is a bit much. But you know what? We're gathered here again. I'm going to give you the lowdown so you are up to date about what's happening in your country. So let's not even waste any more time. Wait. Today, we're not drinking coffee. I'm just having a bottle of water. I got this bottle when I was running, not errands, but I was somewhere and then I just decided to get a bottle of water as I should. Anywho. Let's get into it. So, first up, my boy. Nandipha Makudumani said forever yena. He said it is him, Lord. So they were back in court on Tuesday with Thabo and the 12 accused. And when I tell you it was smiles and smiles, like they were reunited. And wow, Nandipha is a gone girl. At this point, no one can advise her anything. Guti ute forever yena. And my sister, you can't love someone to that extent. Like, I'm just fascinated as to what psychologists, so people who study psychology, are like thinking of this whole situation. Like, to what extent? Like, what's going on in your head, my darling? Like, how, Nandipha? Hi. If I ever, like, you can't love someone to that extent. Like, no. Like, if I ever do that, I'm going to learn poisoning if, because no ways. You can't love someone to that extent, my sister. Like, Never be blinded by love to that extent that you're just doing dumb things. At this point, she's just being dumb. And if you guys saw the clips, Haibo. The entire time I was just saying Haibo Nandipha, Haibo Dombazane, you risking it all. At this point, I feel like even if the lawyer was like, the notion is that Thabo was forcing her to do all of these things. When we saw them in court on Tuesday, no, that doesn't look like someone who's forced to do anything she doesn't want to do. Regarding the Thabo case, outside of the lovey-dovey things they're doing in court, Thabo is claiming that he lost or they stole luxury goods and money and items that were worth like around about 30 million, I believe. And so he's opened a case. But the commissioner, the SAPS commissioner, was like, nah, there's no such thing. All they found when they were arrested in Tanzania was laptops and 2 cell phones. So what Thabo is alleging, they don't know about it. And then they would have to ask their Tanzanian cops. But yeah, they will be back in court in October. So we'll keep you guys updated. Personally, I'm always shocked whenever there's Nandipha and Besta involved. I'm always shocked because I'm just like, I'm confused. How do you, like, what's happening in your cop? Like, in your cop, in your head? What's going on? Yeah. But anyway, anywho, yeah, they'll be back in court in October. So we'll just have to wait and see. Okay, so on to the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial. I will always touch on the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial because wow. So in this week, we saw another witness come to the witness stand, and it is one of the people that were in the house, Senzo Meyiwa's childhood friend, Tumelo Madlala. And personally, I'm not too sure about his credibility as a witness. But at the end of the day, I think I'd have the same kind of sentiments with all the people that are in the house. But his notion, and I think the important things he said, is that he also alleged police brutality, saying that he was tortured by the police and forced into confessing and accounting for something that did not happen. So yeah, and then the other thing he said is that when Senzo was being taken to the hospital, he was unresponsive, but so basically that things were not looking good, but they would not have said that he was dead whilst he was in the car. But what the nurse is saying now, I'm not sure if they're going to bring the nurse as a witness, but what the nurse said in her testimony is that Senzo Meyiwa was already dead at arrival. And yeah, they did not say explicitly that he was dead at arrival, but they said his pupils were dilated. He had no pulse. So essentially dead upon arrival, would kind of like describe his state when he arrived at the hospital. And then the other thing that he said was that there was blood spatters. So he saw blood spatters, and not what Kelly Khumalo said in her statement, which was that there was a lot of blood, which then gives into the notion that has been held that the scene was tampered with. So one of the advocates, I'm not sure which one he's representing of the accused, but he's a very charismatic advocate, and I think when witnesses go through witness training before they take the witness stand, I don't think they are trained or made aware of a charismatic advocate, because Tumela Madlala fell for it. Like, he fell for it. He was laughing there with this advocate, and at the end of this cross-examination, this advocate says, well, with all that has been said, I believe that this is a mistake this is a notion of mistaken identity. So no matter how persistent you are as a witness, he was saying this to Tumela Madlala, that you are very sure that this is a person. I just think that this is mistaken identity. So I'm looking forward to his arguments when they get to the argument stage. But yeah, and the presiding judge over this case just made a very concerning statement regarding South African policing and what they failed to do on the day. Because what they were meant to do was take test of what's this gun residual on the people in the house, and they were also meant to take the clothes that they were wearing. And Tumela Madlala said that none of this was done. So the judge did highlight a flaw in the policing and the people that were supposed to do the investigations regarding this case, regarding that specific aspect. Yeah, but in terms of the Senzo Meyiwa case, that's about it. I'm looking forward to which witness they are bringing next after, like in this week. I'm excited to see which witness takes the stand and what notion they're going to be bringing forward. Along. So on Friday, we laugh, but it's not funny. It's not funny. So Jacob Zuma, former president, was released after 2 hours. Yeah, this is, we laugh about it, but it's like, it's making a mockery out of our justice system. It's making a mockery out of our democracy and the notion that no one is above the law. Because what was that? He was literally arrested for 2 hours and then released on the, what is this? I'm not even sure what to call it, a program. Remission. I'm not sure if it's a program, but this is what Cyril Ramaphosa did. He basically allegedly released 9,000 prisoners who are deemed to be low risk prisoners, and the reason why he did this was because they're saying that prisons are overcrowded. So they want to relieve the system by releasing low risk convicts. But you know what's funny about this whole thing is that it's alleged that there were no talks of this happening, and they can't even account for any other prisoner besides the former president that has been released on this let's call it a program, on this program that the president has done. So it's kind of like I said, it's just making a mockery of our justice system, and that's really just sad to see. But yeah, I think those are the top things that happened in South Africa this week. And we've been seeing a lot of Malema videos lately, and just like his notion of becoming the next president. And like I said in the previous episode, I think it's time to give him a chance. But I must also say that President Cyril Ramaphosa has been, I think I really had high hopes for him, and he has been the biggest disappointment that we have seen in terms of presidency in this country. Yeah, I mean, he just doesn't care, and his whole campaigning, what he was willing to fix, what he was wanting to fix when he was campaigning for president, just seemed to be a whole lot of words. At least at this point, it has all just been words. And that has been very disappointing to see, because I was one of the people that had very high hopes for him, because I believe that it was time for this country.
So my camera battery is dead, so we're just gonna have to continue this here. But yeah, I was saying that I was one of the people that were of the thought that perhaps South Africa needs to go under the leadership of a business-minded person. And at that point in time, I truly believe that Cyril Ramaphosa was a very worthy candidate to take over the country's leadership. But honestly, it has been nothing but a big disappointment. It has been a disappointment. And I just think that maybe it's time to give Julius a chance. I think looking at him from the time he was in the ANC Youth League to when he developed the EFF to now, and just his train of thought and the conversation and sort of like the vision that he has for the country, I think he's the best bet. We definitely should not be voting for the DA, because I think as we can tell already that I'm not a fan of John Steenhuisen. I'm not a fan. He's a nonsense guy. But yeah. Anyway, don't forget to register to vote, good people. 2024 elections, we're here. Yeah. Anyway, anywho, thank you so much for tuning this far into my video. And last but not least, if you're new to my channel, welcome. This is a channel of conversations about everything and anything. And every Thursday I post more of the light-hearted kind of content: hair reviews, hair installations, fashion videos, travel vlogs, you name it, I got it. And if you're a returning subscriber, you already know this. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.